Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
He has a wonderful voice.
God, I love the station.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the globe, in the chat room, on another planet, or on the other side. This is Late Night in the Midlands. I'm Michael Vera, and I welcome all of you, wherever it is you are. It is October 7th, 2020, and yes, we're live, and tonight we've got the Spirit Board. It'll be back. It'll be opened up, and you'll be able to call in and ask questions should you choose. And so we got Barry and Connie Strohm joining us here in a little while. And in the meantime, I've got some other things to tell you about. Number one, here's how you can help us out. And that is if you like what you hear and you want to stick around, go on over to WCETradio.com. And there's several things you can do. You can either make a contribution by clicking the contribution tab. You can go to the show tab. It'll drop down. You'll see Late Night in the Midlands. Click on that. There's a donate button there. You can help out there. You could go to the shop, the WCET radio shop, and you could subscribe either monthly or yearly, or you can get your hands on some of the merchandise that we have there, and so on and so forth. So there's plenty of ways. There's also banners on the website that support us. We support them. And like with My Patriot Supply, if you click on that banner and you purchase through that banner, we make a few pennies. Helps keep us on the air just a little bit longer. So I thank you, and I appreciate any help that you give us. And in the meantime, let's get this thing rolling. So I've got some news, some discovery. There's a debate going on tonight between Vice President Pence and Crooked Harris. That's what I like to call her, Crooked Harris. But I'm not watching that one, obviously. And if you're listening to me, you're not either. But the good news is you can always go back and watch it later. Or you can always go back and catch this show in the archives too. But here's what you can't do. If you missed a live show, you can't call in because, it'll be recorded, right? So if you want to call in tonight, if you are tuning into this and not the debate, which I think a lot of people probably are, not tuning into the debate. So I imagine some are, but it's not as exciting as a Trump, it's not the main event. But in any case, 803-317-2521. That's the number to call in. 803-317-2521. Back to the original number there. I think I've got it fixed now. Stupid thing. I don't know why it keeps changing on me, but it does. So it says, read, UFOs interfered with U.S. nuclear program. Boy, we've heard a lot about this, right? Through the years, we hear so much about it. I just had a guest on recently who was talking about this very thing. So in a new documentary, former Senator Harry Reid has repeated his claims concerning UFOs and nuclear sites. Now, while people like Harry Reid lie through their teeth about most things, not so much the UFO phenomena. Perhaps the most concerning of all UFO incursions to be reported over the years has been the appearance of unknown objects within the vicinity of America's sensitive nuclear weapon sites. And this has happened a lot. There's even reports that they have been shut down. I mean, they have been ready to launch, and they couldn't launch them, which is a good thing. But now, according to Reid, who was a key figure in the U.S. government's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, he demands further investigation. He says not just in the interest of identifying who or what is behind such objects, but also because any interference in the launch or operation of nuclear sites is a very serious matter. Well, it is, and perhaps they feel like, you trying to launch those things is a very serious matter as well. Maybe they're living within Earth. Maybe they are inner Earth, and they're like, hell no, you ain't blowing them things off here. I don't know. Says if they can be called upon by the president to launch the nukes, he says they couldn't have done it. He said during an interview for this documentary that he was in. He also reiterated his view that the U.S. government should be doing a lot more to get to the bottom of the UFO mystery and to determine exactly what's going on. I have news for him. I'm guaranteeing that the U.S. government is doing more to figure out what's going on. They're just not telling any of us about it. Says he goes on to say, nobody has to agree why it's there, but shouldn't we at least be spending some money to study this phenomena? Yeah, we definitely should. We definitely should. It stands to reason that investigating UFO incursions at nuclear sites would be a top priority for such an organization, for anybody really. However, it is unlikely the results of such investigations will be made public. They won't be made public, but I guarantee they're going on. You think for a minute they're not checking that out? Of course they are. You got to make sure it's not the Russians. They know damn well it ain't the Russians. 5G, good old 5G, keeps rolling out on Earth and space in turbulent 2020, they say, promising faster mobile for people stuck at home, which is all part of the plan. This whole corona thing, it's all planned. This is all a plan. Every bit of this is a plan. Now, people will say, oh, you're crazy, oh, these conspiracy theorists, whatever. I guess for those people, just keep putting your head in the sand and nothing to see here. But anyways, the rollout of 5G mobile internet is happening in an environment we couldn't anticipate even a year ago. This is what they're saying. The novel coronavirus pandemic has millions of people trying to work from home to enable physical distancing using internet services from their apartments, their houses, rather than the office. Yeah, I still see this as a possible, I've heard some guests who have tried to connect 5G with coronavirus, and I gotta admit, at first I thought, nah. I'll tell you, I'm beginning to wonder, though. I am beginning to wonder because, this could be directed energy weapons. I mean, they put these little gadgets everywhere, before you know it, they're all over the place, and they're directed at whoever they want. It's like, what? You don't believe the coronavirus? Zzz, that kind of thing. Just like they directed at, whatever, directed energy weapons. I think that's what this is. Yeah. So it says it can deliver data rates of 10 to 100 times faster than current 4G networks. Ooh, fry me today. Fry me today. With finally, they say, will finally get to your city. Yeah, it'll finally get to your city. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile are building out networks in many major metro areas across the United States. It says, so check their coverage maps carefully. Oh, believe me, Later on, I am going to check their coverage maps very carefully. To access 5G, you will likely need to buy a new device, as old ones are not designed for the new protocol. Get your new device. And before you know it, you'll have 5G running through you. No wonder, well, I'll tell you, for a while, when this whole 5G thing first started coming out, I got to admit, like a lot of things, I was very skeptical. I said, here we go, people making a big thing out of something that's nothing again. That's what I swear, that's what I thought. And then as time went on, I talked to experts, and they directed me towards evidence and this and that. Not good. Not good at all. And I don't like it. Energy weapons, I think, this is how they're going to get this all panned out. And then they hope to take back over everything, politically. And then for those of you who do not obey, you'll be 5G'd. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention admits that the virus can spread further than 6 feet. Oh, wow. So the virus don't get tired. It can actually go further than 6 feet. Well, who would have guessed? What they failed to admit, but what is nonetheless clear from their admission, is that the masks, they do not work. The masks do not work. Someone made a really good point the other day. They said, if you could smell my fart, now that's what they said, then your mask isn't working. And, I thought about it, and I said, that's, absolutely. I mean, if that could get through, then so can the virus, which is very, 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 we're talking, it'd get through. I love these people with these little glass things, these little plexiglass little windows in front of them. Like, oh, that's going to help. Yeah. Where'd you go to school anyways? So the notion that you shouldn't have skipped the science class, and probably, the health class would have been a good idea to stick around for that one too. The notion that a virus would spread this profusely from large visible droplets was always dubious, they say. Yes, it's possible to sneeze droplets into someone's mouth. Oh, good Lord. But aside from an adult holding their infant baby who sneezes, this is really not very common, especially with people keeping their distance. And in comes the CDC on Monday and admits what we have always known, basically saying that, these things will help you from any droplets going into your mouth and causing an infection. Outside of that, your masks are worthless. I've been telling you this from the start, and I'm no doctor. It's called common sense. These masks are no good. It's all about compliance. You comply, and a lot of you did. A lot of you did comply. And as far as Trump goes, I don't know what to think there yet either. Did he really have it? Did they just tell him he had it? Did he? Was that his? I don't know. There's so much chess being played here. It's really hard to say. But I think he obviously had a minor flu and he's good. Look, he's fine, right? I don't get it. I don't know why people, they got to hear it from the CDC or from Fox News, or they're not going to believe it. So they say that in addition to large droplets, there are tiny atomized particles of the virus that are emitted every time a person breathes or speaks, much less coughs or sneezes. And these virions, as they call them, are so small that they are usually about 1/20th the size of common bacteria. As such, they can remain suspended in the air and infect someone else, primarily indoors where there is poor ventilation and no wind. And so basically your mask, your whole 6 feet thing, all just a bunch of comply. That's all it is. It was all nonsense. And again, I think that at some point that you're going to have these little 5G deals everywhere. They're going to be on everyone's roof or something. I don't know. And then when you don't comply, it'll zap you like the Great Gazoo. So yeah, and that came from that came from the Blaze. I don't even go to the Drudge no more. Drudge is garbage over there now. I don't even bother with that place anymore. It's like it was your favorite bar, and then something happened, right? I never had a favorite bar. I wasn't a big drinker. So thus, anyways, the authors say to continue wearing masks, but if you read between the lines, they're making a mockery out of the mandate. I mean, they really are. They're basically telling you the masks are worthless. I mean, just look, everyone, you hear Biden keep saying, "Oh, I'm going to listen to the science, the scientists." Okay, but is he going to remember any of it? Oh, Tide Center funnels $170 million in taxpayer money to left-wing groups. How about that? Nearly $170 million in government grants has passed through a liberal dark money behemoth that houses numerous left-wing groups, including the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Get it? I mean, there it is. Black Lives Matter, a Global Network Foundation. Yeah, those things, them global networks usually aren't too good. That's what the tax forms show. And the taxpayer-funded grants were dispersed to groups through the Tide Center, a San Francisco-based nonprofit incubator that wealthy liberal donors use to bankroll progressive causes. Now, a number of radical left-wing groups have fallen under the under the spell of all these Tide Centers, which acts as a official sponsor. I mean, so to nonprofits by providing its 501c3 tax and legal status. See, so basically screwing the tax system and moving money very covertly or very secretly. It says here, I'm trying to get, there it is. This arrangement lets the groups under its umbrella avoid registering with the IRS. So they get totally away. I mean, this is what they do. And I told you, there's plenty of companies who are donating, shall we say, or funneling money to the BLM, their global network, which they are a global network. I told you, it's a global thing. It's not just the United States. It's global. Why do you think there's other countries you're seeing these phony protests, these riots and stuff that have to do with stuff that's happened here that really has nothing to do with anybody else anywhere else in the world, and they really probably don't care anywhere else in the world, but the mainstream, lamestream fake news will make it look like they do. I'll tell you what, such scams. Says the grants went to liberal initiatives housed at the Tide Center over a 17-year span between 2001 and 2018 and have steadily increased over time, according to a review of the center's tax data. So now my question would be, what's going to be done about this? They noted that the Tide Center's recipient profile on usaspending.gov, which posts government grants, shows $34 million in federal funding since 2008. Wow. Man. And some of us, struggle to get a loaf of bread, right? And then here they are just not even milking the cow. My God. What are they doing? It's amazing. It's amazing the stuff they get away with. Oh, Colin Kaepernick, yeah. New Colin Kaepernick project. Get this. He's such an intelligent. I mean, watch. You just got to hear how smart he is. So Colin Kaepernick project calls for a utopian future without police or prisons. Why is that, Kaepernick? Why don't you want prisons? Do you want to do things that will maybe put you in prison? So you want to get... See, you know why these scumbags want no prisons? Because they want more of these Epstein Islands. That's why they don't want prisons. So they could do whatever they want. Kill, rape, murder, kill, murder. I guess that's the same thing, ain't it? But do all those things, rob people, burn down businesses, do whatever they want, and there'll be no consequences. But if you do something they don't like, well, then they'll come in. They'll be Gestapo. So this is what they say, former professional NFL quarterback. I never seen him as a professional NFL quarterback. I always thought he was a slouch, but he is what he is. So former professional NFL quarterback turned social justice activist. No, let me reiterate that for you. Let me read between the lines. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It says former NFL quarterback turned social terrorist is what it should say. Colin Kaepernick has launched a new project aimed at building a utopian police-less, and prison-less future. How would you like that? No police, no prison. I guess if you're a scumbag who breaks the law all the time, you'd love that. Yeah, just like sometimes, Bill, if I was the only one on the planet, boy, how great that was. Some people think that way. Then, you end up the only one on the planet. It's not so great anymore. So astronomers want to build a SETI observatory on the moon. Yes, on the moon. On Monday, a group of researchers sponsored by Breakthrough Listen, the world's largest program, submitted a paper to the National Academy of Sciences, Planetary Science, and Astrobiology. Anyways, it was a survey that they put out there. And it looks like because of all the radio signals that are already going, we got like radio signal pollution like you wouldn't believe. They say it's really hard for them to, and so what they want to do basically is put this up on the moon where there will be no interference from all the noise from Earth. I personally think that the radio signal thing, it's okay to I guess, tinkle in that, but I don't think you're going to get anywhere with that. I don't think they're using radio signals. They're moving across galaxies. They're going to need to do better than radio signals. Or how do you message back or report back to the base or what have you on radio signals? They're going to wait 20 years for the signal to get there? I mean, I don't think they're using radio signals. And it might be good if you're aiming towards planets to see if they're using radio signals on a planet somewhere. But as far as, I don't know. Good luck with that, though. They're probably not. Not the ones that are visiting us anyways. They say that our planet has become so loud in the part of the radio spectrum observed by SETI that it threatens to drown out any signal sent from any intelligent civilization. Not only would a lunar radio telescope not have to deal with terrestrial radio interference, it could also significantly increase our chances of hearing from ET by opening up parts of the radio spectrum that are blocked by Earth's atmosphere. So they want to put something up there on the moon, and hey, go ahead. Some say there's already things up there on the moon. I don't know. I know this. I've got Connie and Barry Strohm joining me next, and we're going to open up the spirit board and have a good old time here. Take your calls. Again, the number is 803-317-2521. This is Late Night in the Midlands on WCET Radio, and we'll be right back.
Michael Vera on the air and contribute to Late Night in the Midlands by going to our show page located on WCETradio.com. Just place your cursor over the show tab at the top of the website. Then click Late Night in the Midlands in the drop-down menu. Once there, just click the donate button on that page. It's as simple as that. Thank you for keeping Michael Vera and Late Night in the Midlands going all these years. WCET Radio and Late Night in the Midlands. We cover everything.
Late Nighters, make sure you like and follow WCET Radio and all our shows on social media. Just click the channel you want at the top and bottom of our homepage. Then be sure to share with a friend and ask that friend to do the same. And you become the resistance.
Carolina Radio, Columbia.
Excellent.
Number one means you're always on top. Your number one radio.
Hey, late nighters, keep up with all things WCET Radio by joining our mailing list. Just go to the bottom of the homepage and fill in the Stay Informed form. Then click the Get Latest News button. You will get everything from guest info and show info and other important station-related information. So sign up now and get a special promo offer just for email subscribers.
What if I told you that you can order quality jewelry that is lead and nickel free for just $5? Crazy, right? Not so much. Paparazzi Jewelry is quality jewelry, and the best part is when you buy from Crystal, she donates a portion to help fight epilepsy. So upgrade your look with quality jewelry, Paparazzi Jewelry. You can click on the banner on the chat and listen page on the station that covers everything. WCET Radio.
Late Nighters and WCET radio listeners around the world, listen up. The shop is here, and you can order WCET radio and your favorite shows swag right now and show your friends and your neighbors you're awake by wearing one of our many shirts, including our Stop the Censorship shirt. That one is a hot seller, so get yours while supplies last. We have coffee mugs, clocks so you never miss your favorite shows, books, mouse pads, and more coming soon. Just go to WCETradio.com and click the shop link. That's WCETradio.com and get to shopping.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We welcome you to WCET's 8th annual spook-a-thon. The conversations will be anything but dead. NDE, OBE, death, possession, aliens. It will be 24 hours of live radio with all your favorite hosts contributing to what should be the booiest Halloween night on the dial. So tune in October 31st, 2020 for the 24-hour spook-a-thon. Brought to you by L&M and WCT Radio.
Do you enjoy WCET Radio? Are you addicted to the wide variety of topics and personalities? Do you know we depend on you to survive? Well, we do, and that's why I'm asking you all to dig deep into your pockets and spare a little change, so we can bring you change. Whether it's natural cures or news blurbs, archaeologists or psychologists, scientists or evangelists, even UFOs and the flipping of our poles. We have it all right here on WCET Radio. So come on over to our website and contribute today, because without you, there is no us. WCET Radio. We cover everything. WCET-FM has just released the app. So now you can take WCET Radio everywhere you go. Just go to the Google Play Store and search WCET-FM. That's WCET space FM and install it. Then it's ready to go. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Well, it is. WCET-FM. We got the app. Good night in the Midlands. I'm Michael Vera, and yeah, Halloween's coming up, folks. We got the annual spook-a-thon coming up, and we've got several hosts who are participating, and should be a really interesting 24 hours of, I guess, spooky radio. That's coming up October 31st, and it'll probably actually start. Like late on the 30th, I'm sure. And we've got some good stuff too. We've got some creepy stories from Ira that he had participated in sending in to me. So we're going to get those on too. We got some really good stuff coming up for Halloween. But what we got coming up right now is my guest, Barry and Connie Strohm. They, what can I say? I mean, they've been here every month for I don't know how long now. It's been a while. It's been I'm going to say 2, 3. I don't know. Well, I'll ask them when I bring them on here. But it's been a while, and so tonight they'll do what we've done for the last however many months we've done this, however many years we've done this. And what happens is you call in, you ask a question, and they go to the spirit board. Usually it's Laura, who is the guide, who will answer any questions, sometimes see if your deceased loved one could come through. And folks, you know, again, the line's open, 803-317-2521. All I'm going to say is that, you know, I know some of you are skeptical about it. Hey, you know, to each your own. All I'm going to say is that I've seen some things through the, how's the commercial go? We've seen a thing or two, right? Yeah, we've seen a thing or two through the years. Welcome, Barry and Connie. How are you?
We are doing great, Michael.
Well,
thank
good.
You much.
Well, thank you. And it's good to have you both back.
Hi, it's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let's just start it out. I hear that your schedule is about to get a little bit busier. You want to go ahead and plug yourselves, please.
Thank you.
We're trying a bit of an experiment. We are in the process of doing our own little 1-hour radio show.
Great.
The name of it is Channeling History. And on each one of the shows, we channel a live spirit, just like, you know, we do here. This is basically where we got the idea for it. We started last week. We did a 1-hour show with President Kennedy, and he came through for us and answered a bunch of questions. And it's, I mean, really the concept for it came from what we do here. So we thought we'd try it. And I will tell you this. I, now that I've tried this on my own, have the greatest respect for what you do. I have no clue how you pull this crap off every night.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's not easy, and it didn't come without a lot of stumbles.
Well, that's the path that we're on right now, Mike.
And now we're on the struggle path.
Well, you'll get there, though, I promise you. So now where do people go to listen?
It's on the Para X Radio Network. It's on Sundays at 9 p.m., and it's on for an hour. And then it winds up, we put it over on Podomatic and YouTube and all the places like that if you want to download or listen later. But been a bit of a struggle so far. It is, I will tell you, it is far different when you cannot rely on the host to fill in the soft spot.
You know what, though? You've got so much knowledge, so much stuff that you've done. And sometimes when you're hosting, you forget about those things. And then you got to remind yourself, it's like, well, I could fill this easy. I mean, just talk about what you know. And you know a lot, so you'll do well.
Well, you know a lot, but the older you get, the less you know.
especially about computer technology.
Oh yeah. That does get, listen, it was no easy task when I had to start learning. I mean, I had to learn. I had it easy at first. I had a setup that everything with Blog Talk, everything came with it. But I wanted to do better, and so to do that, I had to learn. And I didn't think I'd ever be able to learn. I say, if I can learn it, anybody can.
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's the grand experiment. We'll see how it goes.
The real fun is when there's technology problems right there in the middle of the show, and everybody's like hounding you to fix it because they want you on.
And that has happened both of our shows so far.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a wonderful learning experience.
Yeah, it will be. So you get through that, you get through anything.
I thought that I was too old to get kicked in the butt, but it is. Let's just say it's been very interesting so far.
Yeah.
But the spirits have been great. I'll say that for them.
Well, yeah, sure. They don't have to face anybody.
No, they don't turn the knobs or anything. It's great.
So all right, great. So Kennedy, now I know we got some calls, folks. Hang on, and we'll get to you. I promise you. But so you channeled Kennedy. What was his thoughts on Trump? That had to have come up. No.
We really tried to stay away from it.
Smart.
Yeah, I figured once I pulled that string, everybody would.
Yeah.
We're trying till we get through this election to just kind of keep things on an even keel and not get thrown into the middle of it. Even though you know how strong our feelings are.
Oh, I know. And you know what? You're smart to do that, really, because people are just vicious out there. They're just horrible. And you know what? What really matters is when you go to vote. I mean, outside of that, who cares what anybody thinks? It's better. You're better off. Now I know why. For years, people like Art Bell and such, they tried not to give too much of how they leaned, on that stuff, and that's why. Because people attack you.
Oh yeah, no. Since we started, we're getting some nasty comments on YouTube now. People calling us a fake, and one guy swearing that I'm reading all these notes and all the answers.
Well, let me tell you, all the years you've been on here with me, and how long do we know? I mean, how long has it been? Has it been 3?
It's 3 years.
3 years. That's what I thought. Okay. So
yeah, we started with you when we were doing the conspiracy book, and that was 3 years ago.
In the 3 years, I've probably had, I'm going to say maybe 2 people who've emailed me and says, Mike, you don't actually believe that, do you? And I tell them, well, call in yourself one night. That's all I could tell you, And I think you've actually changed a couple people over through the last few years. I know one night there was a skeptic, and he said he was going to call in, and when he did, you got him. He wrote me and says they were amazing. So hey.
Well, I really think Laura, when she knows when a real skeptic's coming in, and I think she really pours the coals to them, and that's when you really get the information.
Yeah, and what people don't understand, no matter whether it's psychic or what it is, anyone who says that they could get 100%. Always do 100%. I mean, they're lying. I mean, it's just you're never going to get. You just sometimes there's just things you can't connect with. You can't get. It's just it happens.
No, and I'm one of these. I'm quick to admit when I can't get something. It's just it is what it is. I am a simple messenger.
Yeah.
And if they don't give me the message, there's nothing coming out. I don't fake it. If I don't hear it, it's not coming out.
Yeah, and just well, to end this note is that sometimes people will call in too, and they think they're gonna their plan right from the beginning is to catch you. Oh, I'm gonna catch. And when they do that, they botch it all right from the start. I mean, it's if you don't have good intentions and you're coming in, you're giving fake information. I mean, how do you expect anything to be accurate? So,
Hey, I heard you talking about your ghost show.
Oh, yeah.
I have a great ghost story if you want to take a just short time here.
Oh, please, yeah.
The the most amazing thing that they ever did to me is we were living in Pennsylvania in the apartment. And that night, when I went to bed, I took off my jeans and laid them on the floor. When I got up the next morning, the zipper was closed, the button was closed, and the belt was hooked. Just like a ghost had been wearing my pants overnight.
Wow.
And that is a true story.
Jeez. So what'd you get out of that? I mean, what do you think was going on there? Ghosts just trying on some pants?
They mess with us, you know.
They're just saying hi. We're here.
I obviously did not button everything up when I just threw the pants on the floor.
And I promise you, I did not do it, and our cat did not do it either.
Well, yeah, that'd be a little unusual, you know. Buttons.
You know, our cats do some weird ass things, but this is not that one.
Well, you never know. You know, some people say that cats were put here by the aliens to watch.
Sometimes I think ours are aliens.
Yeah, I've heard of the cat people. Apparently, there's cat people up there somewhere. So.
Oh yeah, if there's anything you want, you know, pick it.
Wow, cat people. That'd be something. Well, I've always been nice to cats, so I don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's when you catch up with the spider people that you'll wake up.
Yeah, I bet the bee people are not pleasant either. Yeah. So what else is what else have you guys been up to? So you channeled Kennedy, and are you all settled in now at your place and everything going well?
We're here. It's Saturday. It's going to be 19 degrees here. So it's yeah, we're here. And I was bitching about the cold in Pennsylvania, you know.
In the low 80s.
Yeah, it was gorgeous here today again. We're getting all this smoke out of California.
Ooh.
We're in the peak of our leaves here, and we can't see them because of the smoke that California is bringing into it. I mean, it amazes me how the state that is supposed to be so keen on environmental stuff is polluting the entire country with smoke. It just seems like there's something wrong with that, you know?
Yeah, and apparently a lot of it has to do with bad management, forest management. They don't. I understand they had years and years of debris just built up. I mean, that ain't good. Not a good idea.
Well, another thing that they've done is that they cut out forestation. They cut the logging business, and you can use the logging business to cut fire breaks and to defend against these damn things. But
yeah. Well, and it's regulation after regulation. They want to save the environment. So but it's like people who, it's like you love somebody so much and they want to leave, and you love something so much you kill it, right? I mean, basically that's what they do. They love.
Yeah, you cut out all logging and everything in a forest to save an owl, and then the fire comes and kills all the owls. So where are you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's too bad. The smoke. That's one thing I've not had to deal with yet. Is that fires and smoke and all that.
Utah gets fires. We have a big one burning in the backcountry now that started with lightning.
Yeah.
But not like California. It's just we've had this smoke here now over a month. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised they're not saying, oh, my God, the corona's being carried over with the smoke, because they claim that can happen, I guess.
Well, we see people out here riding bicycles with masks on all the time, so I guess they think that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that, but then, power to the people, I suppose. What are you going to do, So now I hear that Chris Christie is now, and is he in the hospital too now?
I imagine he is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard that he was infected with it, but
Yeah.
I don't know what his diagnosis is or anything.
Yeah, I just read something briefly where there's a lot of people. I don't know. I have my own opinions about this whole thing, but nor near here nor there. I think there's a part of me that's starting to wonder about this whole 5G thing and whether it's being used as going to be used as some kind of direct energy weapon. And I know it sounds crazy, but the truth usually
that's
is.
Not crazy. No.
Yeah. So I'm starting to wonder. Let's hit them. And people, I've had experts, quote unquote, who have come on and said that people aren't having really coronavirus implications. It's 5G they're being hit with 5G. And that sounded crazy to me for a little while, but I don't know. I'm starting to think now. After you read. You can only, nothing like learning, right? And
oh yeah, I'm learning every day, especially since we tried this radio show thing.
Well, I'm glad you did. You guys should. It brings a lot of interest, and so why not?
They won't teach history in the schools.
Yeah.
So I just feel like part of our obligation is we have the ability to actually bring the people that will tell you the truth of the historical events. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're going to do a lot of different things. For instance, in April, on the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic, we're going to try to channel with the captain of the Titanic and see what really happened.
You know what? If I was wealthy, I would rent a ship and we'd go out and we'd do a special show right there where the Titanic sank, and we'd do a special spirit board. I don't know. We'd have lifeboats waiting though, just in case.
Yeah, you got that right. Warm lifeboats.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, I'm not a big guy for the ocean. I love it. I love watching it, looking at it. As far as going out on it where I can't see land, no, I'm good with that. I'm a land lover. But
if God meant us to be out there by ourselves, He would have given us gills.
Well, some say that we did have gills. I guess we traded them in for feet. So that's what they tell us. I don't know.
That's another long story.
Yeah, another piece of history that's not quite correct, in my opinion. So if you guys are ready, we could take a call.
Sure. Why not? What could go wrong?
Yeah, right. All right, let's first get, I'm going to take them in the order I get them now. Let's go 716 area code. You're up first. Who do we have?
Hilda.
Hi, Hilda. How are you?
Hilda.
Yep.
Good. How are you?
Good.
How are you, Connie and Barry?
Hi, Hilda.
Hi, Hilda.
Hi. So I have a question. Soon this week or next week, within the next 2 weeks, my husband and I are planning on taking a camping trip down in the Smoky Mountains.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if that's a good time to go.
She's saying that everything will be fine for you. You'll be safe. Pick a good place. She's saying the leaves should be very nice for you, and it'll be a good getaway.
Oh, wonderful. Great. And I have an appointment. I know you don't do medical things, but I have an appointment with a GI doctor, and I just need a yes or no answer if this is the right person I'm supposed to see.
I'm hearing that he is quite capable.
So I should get answers and my problem solved.
She is saying if you get a negative answer, that you should get a second opinion.
Oh, okay. Well, can always do that. And my last question is spiritually, who's around me this evening?
She's saying that as you are speaking, you have got actually several spirits around you. You have a grandmother and is your husband passed?
No.
No, then it must be his father.
He hasn't passed yet either, but my father did.
I'm hearing father, but I'm not. I don't have the details on it.
Okay.
She's saying that that you actually have many family members that are around you, more than you realize. They want you to take this doctor appointment very seriously.
Okay.
All right.
Good. So that's all you have for me this evening?
They want you to focus on this doctor appointment.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm focused on it, and I'm planning on being there, so
Yes,
that's
and if it's a difficult diagnosis, they want you to get a second opinion.
okay.
All right.
with just a different doctor in the same field.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Go
Alrighty
enjoy your
then.
camping trip.
Yes, it should be beautiful down there in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I hope so. I'll be looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for your information.
Okay, Hilda.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for working for me, Laura.
She's saying she tries.
Yes, she does, and she's pretty much right on the money.
Yeah, pretty
All
much.
right, thank you.
All right, thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, yeah, doctor's appointments suck. The older you get, the worse doctor's appointments are. You know, it's like when I was a kid, I remember the worst thing I used to worry about was getting a shot in the arm, right? Now you go, and it's like, I hope that's all I get. Shot in the
I'll tell you, when I was a kid, now we're talking back years, was going to the dentist.
Oh,
I
I didn't
like
like
he
that.
almost had this hand crank that he would use. So I'm not even going to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I'm not a big one on the dentist either. Those are two things that'll make my blood pressure go up, is especially the dentist. It's
I can sit here and mentally see that drill of his. That rope crank. Oh my God.
yeah, I can hear it to this day. It's like when I hear that sound of the drill, it makes me cringe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, boy, we could put people on the moon, right? But I mean, here we are still doing. I mean, I think like you know, I don't know how long. Maybe 100 years from now, they're going to look back and say, "Oh my God, how savage." Yeah, it's crazy. But then again, if we look back 100 years, you'd think how savage. What'd they do? Give them a swig of whiskey and say, "All right, here we go. We're pulling it."
Oh yeah. Pair of pliers and away you go.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, thank God I'm here when I see. This is probably why we can't remember past lives. Now, if you might be traumatized by that, if you could remember those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to lay another trivia out for you since we're talking about the dentist thing.
all right.
Do you know what the only physical requirement for a soldier to fight in the Civil War was?
What?
They had to have enough teeth that they could bite the caps off the bullets to load the musket.
No
So they
kidding.
basically needed to have at least 4 teeth in their mouth.
So that's why the South lost. I'm just kidding.
See, I'm just full of information tonight.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Always full of information.
Yeah.
That's why one of my nicknames for him is George Google.
Well, I'm glad she's using the word information. She could have had another word she uses occasionally.
Yeah. All right.
But this is family radio, so she's.
Yeah, we try to keep it there. So let's see. Up next, we got 985 area code. You're up. Who do we have?
It is me, your worst nightmare.
What's going on, Cece?
Yeah. Anyway, Barry, what
Yeah.
about that, the Ginsburg gal? Is she dancing on coals yet or what? Or is she in limbo?
Don't know. I checked with her. Laura told me that she would try to find out for me. Yeah, I'm assuming you want to speak to her?
I don't want to speak to her. She's not a patriot. She's more like a traitor. So, yeah.
Okay.
I was just wondering if she's dancing on the coals like some of these Democrats are going to do when they die.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure how to answer that for you.
Well,
she is on the other side.
Well, we definitely know that, yeah.
I would assume that she's probably moonwalking on the coals, just like Bush and what's his puss there?
Epstein.
Oh yeah, Epstein. But then the other one too. What was his name? The old guy. McCain.
Yeah.
McCain. I can't believe I forget his name. Yeah. But he's another one. So I don't know. So do you plan on connecting with Ginsburg at any time, or is that something that's planned for the future?
We'll probably take a shot at it. I think it's a little soon for her. It takes a while for them to get associated with what's over there. But Laura's telling me she will be available in the future.
Okay.
We're going to have to talk to that scutter.
Well, I would assume that she's been there before, so she probably knows the joint real well.
Yeah, they've all been there before.
Yeah. Anything else, Cece? Any kitty cats or anything you want to?
No, I was wondering what outside of Cayenne Cat right there. I sent a picture up in the Skype chat. You know, she's laying here waiting to be. Feed me, feed me. What else is going through her mind except feed me for dinner?
Well, on Halloween, watch out for Chucky Cat.
You want to know what else is going through your cat's mind?
See?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. What else outside of feed me?
Well, she's saying that she would much rather have some good wet food. And she prefers if she could have some beef tonight.
You know what? I just happen to have some beef canned food, and I'm going to give it to her tonight. How's that sound?
How's that for a coincidence? That ain't no coincidence. I'm telling you what she said.
Okay. She had chicken yesterday. So I'll give her beef tonight.
Yeah,
that's what she wants.
She was scoping out the cabinet. She says, yeah, I want some of that.
Oh, she watched me fill the her cat food up 2 days ago when wife brought home some different cat food, you know, because we've been feeding her mostly seafood, but and we mix it up with chicken and beef, and so okay, she can have beef in a little while, about maybe, well, after I get done with you, because she's looking at me like, what the hell are you doing here?
Right, get your priorities right.
Yeah. All right, well, go get that cat some beef, Cece. It's hungry.
I reckon. Catch you later.
All right, later, my friend. Thank you for the call. I'll tell you what, we've got next. We'll take Jessica. Jessica, hang on the line with us. We're going to get you next. Barry, Connie, let's take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll see what's on Jessica's mind. And anyone else that wants to call in, the number's 803-317-2521. If you don't get in the first time, just try again. Give it a minute and try back. All right? So with that, this is Late Night in the Midlands. I'm Michael Vera, and with me is Barry and Connie Strohm, and they are opening up not the Ouija board, but the spirit board. We'll be right back.
Michael Vera on the air, and contribute to Late Night in the Midlands by going to our show page located on WCETradio.com. Just place your cursor over the show tab at the top of the website. Then click Late Night in the Midlands in the drop-down menu. Once there, just click the donate button on that page. It's as simple as that. Thank you for keeping Michael Vera and Late Night in the Midlands going all these years. WCET Radio and Late Night in the Midlands. We cover everything.
Late Nighters, make sure you like and follow WCET Radio and all our shows on social media. Just click the channel you want at the top and bottom of our homepage. Then be sure to share with a friend and ask that friend to do the same. And you become the resistance.
station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
What if I told you that you can order quality jewelry that is lead and nickel free for just $5? Crazy, right? Not so much. Paparazzi Jewelry is quality jewelry, and the best part is, when you buy from Crystal, she donates a portion to help fight epilepsy. So upgrade your look with quality jewelry, Paparazzi Jewelry. You can click on the banner on the chat and listen page on the station that covers everything. WCET Radio.
Late Nighters and WCET radio listeners around the world, listen up. The shop is here, and you can order WCET radio and your favorite shows swag right now and show your friends and your neighbors you're awake by wearing one of our many shirts, including our Stop the Censorship shirt. That one is a hot seller, so get yours while supplies last. We have coffee mugs, clocks so you never miss your favorite shows, books, mouse pads, and more coming soon. Just go to WCETradio.com and click the shop link. That's WCETradio.com and get to shopping.
You're listening to WCET, America's talk station.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Just click on the banner located at the footer of our website, WCETradio.com, and help us help you. Get back to it here. Barry, Connie, we are back. And, our favorite person is on the line here next with us. So, Jessica, welcome.
Hello. Hi, Michael. Hi, Barry. Hi, Connie.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, Jessica.
And I mean that. We love when you call in, just so you know. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Michael. And I want to tell a quick story. It happened early this week, or this weekend, I should say. I was in the bathroom and doing my thing, and all of a sudden I seen a full figure going from my bedroom, walking right past the door, past through the living room, and into the kitchen, and out the door. I couldn't see the head, but it was the full body apparition.
Wow. What was that, Barry?
That was an individual that he's from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm hearing his name is Eric, and that he passed over 100 years ago, but he still enjoys being in the neighborhood.
Oh, just taking a stroll, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, hello. I didn't feel anything. And I was like, oh, all right, interesting.
No, they're saying that he's very friendly, that he actually enjoys being in the house with you. Laura's saying that he likes your bubbly personality and knows that you don't fear the spirits, so he's happy there.
Oh, cool. I got somebody watching over. More than one. All righty. Well, how about this? Barry, Connie, send some of that cooler weather over here because somehow, some way, Michael ended up giving us the 70-ish degree weather up here, and I'm ready for the 50s and the 40s and the cooler weather. So,
Well, then you should come spend next week in Park City.
We've got it coming in here next week.
Yeah, not here. We just stay warm. I don't know. Eventually, we go cold a day or two, and then it goes back to a hot day or something. I mean, I couldn't believe it was nice, been beautiful, and then the last couple of days, I don't know, 80s. It's like,
Yeah. No, thank you. All right. I just wanted to ask if, let's see if anyone decides they want to come through and give me a message and so forth.
Do you have a doctor appointment coming up?
Which one? I got many.
Your grandfather is saying that he is going to go with you next week to a doctor appointment that you're nervous about.
Okay, I think next week. Yeah. Wait, that's next week? Yeah, okay.
And he's saying that you're not to be nervous, that he'll be with you.
Or the week after. I got like three of them, so I gotta look on the calendar.
Ask
Okay,
him,
he's around.
ask him if he'll come with me on my next one, too.
So Grandpa's around. Okay. All right.
He's telling you that you know that he's always around. That.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's saying that you know that you can rely on him.
Yeah.
So that was him trying to get my attention earlier, especially when I was baking the apple pie. I felt someone was around, but I was kind of all over the place in the kitchen, so.
He's saying that you didn't put enough cinnamon in it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so, Grandpa, now, Mom's having her procedure done after Dad's hand surgery. Will I have any sanity left afterwards?
He is saying that is why he is worried. But yes, you need to find quiet time with all that going on around you.
Oh, all right. I get it. And, okay. Oh, and, I'm going back to the U.S. of Wisconsin for volunteer work. Did I make a good decision on that part?
Yes. He said you were at your best when you were doing volunteer work. And it is also very relaxing for you. Use the volunteer work with all the craziness that is about to go on around you.
Fun. All right. Alrighty, and can I see if Michael Jackson can come through?
He may be teaching Ruth there how to moonwalk on them coals, but no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Laura's saying that he's not available tonight.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Grandpa. So, have a good evening.
You too, Jessica. And hey, stay cool. Try to stay cool, I guess is what I'll tell you, because you don't want the heat. So stay cool.
All right. Yes, next week we'll be getting at least down to the 60s, and I can't wait. All right, talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye, Jessica. Thanks for the call.
Bye.
All right, and so yeah, you know, I don't know. 70s is good for me. I love 70s. It's when it's extremes. I don't like the 90s, and I don't like the 40s. You know, get me even 50s too a little too much. Get me in 60 and above, and I could live. You know.
We are having almost 40-degree temperature swings here every day. In the morning, it's in the 30s, and it's been in the 70s in the afternoon.
Well, let me ask you this. Is that, going back as far as you can remember, is that the norm? Is that how it normally is, or no?
It's a little warmer this time of year than usual. But our lows are pretty much typical now. Sunday night, we're going to get down to 19 degrees here.
Wow.
So it's starting. But no, it is definitely warmer than usual. I mean, we were down in Salt Lake today, and it was in the high 80s down there.
Yeah. Well, you know, the weather's been wacky everywhere, really. I mean, it really has.
And it's almost surreal with all this smoke, because when they get high pressure in Salt Lake, they get these inversions. And I'm telling you, you can't even see the mountains around the town anymore. It's almost surreal down there.
And that's just a little example of how quickly the sun could be blocked out should a volcano or something, you know, like Yellowstone go off. I mean, I was looking, you know, the other day I was watching the cloud cover where it was just pouring in, right? And I'm thinking, boy, that's how it would be if something like that happened. It would just all of a sudden, you know, you'd go from day to night.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, we've got Henry on the line. Henry, welcome.
Hi, Michael, Connie, Barry.
How's it going?
Last time when I called in, when you were on last time, you mentioned we were talking about Marie Curie, and you said that she had, or that spirit had reincarnated. So I went over to YouTube to see if there were any channelings of her, and I couldn't find one. And I thought it was kind of coincidental, you know, to that remark that you said.
No, I'm hearing right now that she is definitely back, and that you should know.
And well, she's kind of like, I mean, as famous a figure as she is, especially when it comes to you know, a role model for women and stuff, and you know, very often, like I said, she's mentioned on Big Bang Theory quite a few times, but always kind of the butt of their jokes, you know. And I remember a few years back, Sabrina, the Teenage Witch Show, you know, they had conjured her and Pierre up, and the two were arguing in French, and so the aunt zaps them, and they start speaking English, but she's speaking English with a French accent. And of course, she's Polish; she wouldn't be having a French accent. Speaking English, you know. And then I remember on Mayberry, you know, Andy Griffith Show, Aunt B had achieved something, and I think Barney said something. Well, you might be the next Marie Curie or something. She goes, oh no, she was very smart, and she was French too, you know. So the poor woman, you know, she can't seem to, you know, get her identity straight. I don't know how many times I've gone and had X-rays, and I said to the X-ray technician, you know, do you know who Marie Curie is or Madame Curie? And they don't know. They haven't a clue. You know, it's very strange.
It's terrible what people know about history.
What they don't know.
Considering the mark she made. Anyway, you know, I just wanted to mention that. And, you know, this Friday is John Lennon's birthday, so I remind you about that too again. I keep wondering, you know, I had looked at a YouTube channeling that was fairly recent, and I was kind of surprised because I know, you know, a friend of mine had sort of worked for them, and I heard things, and it was sort of in line with, you know, like he had a realization of something, you know, in the channeling, you know, the woman was saying, and I too, I have, you know, some feelings, you know, my own deductions about things. Remember I was saying I had this what I call the Holy Grail Junior, you know, the first time I ever talked to you. And, you know, it's something related to John, and I noticed that there was a mark on it, and that's why I said I had, I thought there was a spell on the object, because I saw this the object had a little engraving on it, and over the engraving was a little circle, you know. And I said, why? And it was pretty hardly deeply engraved in, more than the engraving that was on the object, which is like a plant, sort of. And I said, who would do this? It's not an O. I don't think it's an O, and why would somebody deface the engraving, with this mark? It's more like the engraving was hiding the circle somewhere. And I thought, that could be a magic circle, a tiny magic circle, and maybe, magic circles are used to protect what's inside the circle, and maybe somebody put a spell on it and gave it to John. And so my efforts were to wash it away, kind of, and I did everything I could in several different ways, because I assumed it might be something like, maybe like a love spell or something like that, and because it was a Japanese object too, anyway, and so I thought, so anyway, but there's two sides to the story about Lenin and everything, so, but anyway, I just want to mention, in case you're going to get around to channeling, that his birthday's coming up, so maybe he might.
Oh, okay. Can we?
He is on our list for one of our future shows on Sunday nights.
Yeah, John.
And when we do that,
I don't know. I was going to say, my childhood, one of my my best friend when I was a teenager, was a drummer in my band, and one of the other guys told me he had committed suicide. But I thought maybe it might have been an accident. He might have been doing something that looked like ended up being suicidal. But also, he had worked in this place. It was a very old manorial mansion in New York, and where his aunt and uncle were caretakers. And I remember one night he said to me, he says, he said, George is the other he was like the watchman in the place, the night watchman. He says, George is retiring. I'm going to get a summer job there. And he says, but George keeps saying, Bob, they're never going to let me leave. They're not going to let me leave. And so Bob gets the job there. George, he's going to retire. And I get a phone call, and Bob says, you got to come down here. I said, why? He says they just found George dead today. He was his last day. And the guy, and so so we used to talk about a lot of occult things and stuff. I don't know if he I don't know if you can reach him in any way or not. Just to say hi for me and hope he's doing okay. He had a kind of a rough life. He was, his parents died when he was very young,
and who is this? Who is this you want to talk to?
Well, it's a friend of mine, Bob. He was a drummer in my high school band, the band I had in high school. And in fact, the first day I met him, I answered, he had an ad up, or I had an ad up, and I meet him. He's got a broken arm. It's like he's a drummer with his arms in a big cast. So, but we were pretty good friends. So I don't know. I just thought maybe you could just see if he's around. And
the drummer for Def Leppard, he did it with one arm for a while, right?
Yeah.
What's Bob's last name?
Should I say it or?
Well, you can, I suppose, if
he's.
Well, actually, there are other drummers with his last name too in the area. It was Blazzetti.
I think he's here for you. You got a question for him?
Well, I just want to know if he's doing okay, because he has little troubles in life and stuff, so.
He's saying yes. I did make some bad decisions, but now that I'm over here, I've understood what I did wrong. I do check. He said, I do watch you occasionally, and I want to thank you for asking me to come through tonight. Everything is very different over here. It is all good when there's no pain, there's no suffering, and even though I'm in a middle level, I can do many things. So yes, I would say things are much better over here. It was actually, things were tough quite a bit of the time when I was back.
Well, I appreciate hearing that. So, all right. Well, I assume you got maybe some other callers, and Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing that channeling if you get around to it, John.
Yeah, no, we're going to do it. It's just a matter of getting to it.
And when we do, we have a chat room, and you can send your own questions in for him.
Yeah, this coming week, we're going to do Elvis, because everybody else does. But then the week before the election, we're going to do Thomas Jefferson. And I think that's going to be a very interesting interview on the week before the election.
Oh, that's interesting, because I was just, on some of the shows, people always talk about the Constitution and what a great document it is. And I always keep thinking how I would have written it very differently. I would have taken a lot more precautions than they did, because you look at how the Supreme Court keeps reinventing, the language like, Congress shall make any laws that are just and necessary, and the Supreme Court comes along and says, well, necessary, that could be convenient, And I would have probably said absolutely necessary and not convenient. In fact, there's a quote in one of Jefferson's letters where he talks about how he says, you better be careful before they start taxing us in our food and our drink, and until we're working 11 hours a day, and 10 of them go to pay, to the government, and one for ourselves, and we could barely afford food. And he says, this is how it is presently in England, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, and until it gets so bad that we're willing to shackle chains around the necks of our fellow citizens, for that extra little bit of money, and there are some people that do that, let's face it. And, I kept thinking, well, why didn't he put a prohibition into the Constitution that the governments can't do those things, Why is that left and omitted, to say this is the state of affairs in England, how horrible it is, and how oppressive the government and he says the people, they work constantly and they can't think about what's going on, and around them and the government and everything else, because all they're doing is laboring, and it's exactly where we've headed all these years, and yet he didn't, he writes about this and didn't put any prohibitions in against this happening,
Well, he had a tough time. I mean, it was a miracle. It was only an act of God that you got any constitution, because of all the different opinions that were present at that time. I mean, it was really a difficult time, and just simply amazing that we did come up with a constitution.
Yeah. But as important as it was, somebody could have taken an extra few minutes, so we don't have to spend 11 hours a day working for the man and 1 hour for ourselves. Anyway. All right, so I'll let you guys go. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
Thank you, Henry. I appreciate the call.
Take care, Henry.
Good night.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
night. All right, so there goes Henry. Now, anyone else wants to get in, you're welcome to call in, 803-317-2521. And if you want to chat, there's a chat. You can go to our chat and listen page on the website, wcetradio.com. And when you go on that page, you'll see a link that'll get you to the Skype chat. And that's how we're doing it. So if you want to join the crowd over there, you may do so. And so guys, you're going to channel John Lennon at some point. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, we're saving him for after the election.
Yeah. So what do you think? Let me ask you now. I've had a guest on here, Jordan Maxwell. He says October, which we're in October, that this month there was going to be an event that was going to happen that was going to rock the world. It was going to affect the entire globe, and he didn't know what it was, just knew that it was going to be big and it was going to affect the world. What do we know about it? Anything? Is it going to be, I know there's supposed to be an asteroid that's supposed to be coming nearby on election day. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, it could be the big one maybe, but I mean, a big earthquake wouldn't affect the whole world. And if it did, that'd be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it would.
Well, let me ask Laura. We're not seeing any natural occurrences that would have a great effect on your election. There will be some disclosures coming, but those disclosures have already started. Whether the citizens react to this disclosure is another question. But, you are getting very close now to your election, and there will be many problems with it. So we are watching from over here, and we are hoping that the people of America vote while keeping in mind the teachings of God. That will be the determining factor on how your evolution takes place in the near future.
I see. All right. Well,
that lays it out pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
But she's not seeing any great natural events.
Well, okay. And before we take the next call, let me ask you just, I don't know, maybe a couple more questions here. What about election night? Do we expect a lot of things going on? I mean, there's been threats of, burning up cities and all that stuff. We're probably gonna be seeing some of that. But what about after the election? Is it you see it getting fired up? I mean, it's probably gonna, right? But I mean, to a level that I don't know, it gets really bad. I mean, not just for one city or a couple places, but I mean, really bad. I don't know, kind of warlike. Is it going to become warlike? I guess is what I'm asking.
You are definitely seeing a time where anarchy is becoming very popular among a certain facet of your community. These people will do their best to stir up problems and to create havoc where possible. Your government has been studying these people, and you can anticipate that they will take measures to alleviate the possibility of total disruption of the election. There will be much uncertainty on election day. The fact that so many ballots will be delivered by your postal department and the delays that will be incurred through them will bring a certain element of uncertainty. You have to have faith that the people will understand the difference that the choices that will be made on your election day, how they will have impact on the near term. That will determine whether or not your futures will be bright or whether it will be a time of uncertainty and financial collapse. Even though we can see to the future, there is still uncertainty in that future. The future has many paths that will be determined by the will of the American people. Hopefully, they will choose a path that will lead to understanding among all parties, reconciliation, and prosperity. The choice in this election is truly up to the people. We cannot see any time that there has been such a great difference in political parties and future direction possibilities for your country. Hopefully, the electorate will understand the possible dangers that are facing them. This is truly an example of how free will affect your destiny.
I see.
Interesting, huh?
It is interesting. Very interesting, yeah. So, well, we'll see, I guess. I expected it to be a little more crazier, but I don't know. You know, this whole thing with Trump and this COVID, you know, it was part of me that thought, oh, boy, they're trying to get him.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I thought maybe that would be the big thing, but thank God it's not.
No, I think they ducked that bullet, but it is very strange how many of the people around him have been infected by the COVID.
Yeah, all of a sudden, too. It's just boom, 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 picking them off like flies.
And right before the election.
Yeah, kind of like right before the election, and it reminds me of an energy weapon. Pointed at that person, shoot him with it, and guess what? You got corona. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of, I know it sounds crazy and far-fetched, but if you've dove into the rabbit hole, you know that's just how it is. Crazy and far-fetched, but it's true.
I've written books on conspiracies, remember?
Oh, yeah, you sure did. So, well, you know, I mean, there's people who say what you do is, you know, not possible, but, you know, no, it is possible.
We've nailed too many of these things in the past for it not to be possible.
Absolutely. And, folks, again, listen, if you want to call, it's 803-317-2521. We had Mark on the line. I don't know what happened. He dropped out on us, but that's all right. So now there's this asteroid that's coming towards the planet. It's supposed to be have its nearest approach on Election Day. Do you see anything coming from this? Not that the asteroid's so much going to crash into us, but, you know, it wasn't that long ago that an asteroid came on a close encounter and a piece of it broke off, or something came with it and blew up over Russia, if you remember. Mm-hmm. So, expecting anything from this, or? No?
Laura is saying that she is not expecting any major natural occurrences.
Oh, good.
Before the election.
Oh, no natural occurrences. Oh, boy. It's the unnatural ones I really worry about.
Hey, these spirit guides, I think they were all attorneys in their prior lives.
Yeah.
The way they choose their words.
Yeah, they could have been politicians, too, because they never, you know, it's like, well, I'm not going to give you exact, but I'll tell you, you know, a little bit here or there. But we got Mark back. Mark, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening to everyone.
Good evening to you.
I have I hope Michael doesn't get upset with me for this question, but I have a couple questions. My first question is, will Mike and his program be able to hang in there in the years ahead and continue?
Laura is saying that she sees difficulties, but nothing that cannot be overcome.
Good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, that is good. And I hope it was okay, Mike. I hope you don't mind me asking that question, because it was about...
That's fine.
Okay.
As long as you ask it and it ain't coming from me, I'm all right.
Oh, okay. Okay. My another question I had was, how, I don't know how good your guests are with time, you know, time being what it is, but if they could, what kind of a time frame are we looking at for a healing to take place, not only in this country, but around the world, from all the things that are going on, not just the COVID, but from everything that's going on? Can they get a time frame on an approximate time frame on when healing might be taking place around the world?
There have been many, many people that have been trying to create havoc, hatred, and unrest in the world. And they have been quite successful. From educations being taught in the schools to billionaires investing obscene amounts of money to obtain their own goals. Much damage has been done. This is not something that will heal itself in a short period of time. There will be things happen that will tend to draw people together. However, it is, we fear, with all the negativity, that it will be a multi-generational issue until mankind uses its free will to show love for one another and to truly understand that love is the only answer.
Would you say the media is playing a major role in that?
There are aspects of the media that is definitely attempting to generate actions towards their own self-interest. The one thing that can tend to offset that is the fact that there are so many social media and media outlets that can bring you alternative information.
Okay. There have been many that have spoken about the coming of an Antichrist, a third Antichrist. And I'm curious, is this the time frame that we are living through now, the timing or the time of the third Antichrist? And could he or it be behind much of what is going on?
You are making the assumption that there will be the occurrence of a defined Antichrist, as mentioned in Revelations and other writings. As we have said many times in prior channelings, the predictions of Revelations are not accurate. An Antichrist can be defined as anyone who vehemently pushes concepts that are contrary to the teachings of Christ. So in that relationship, we are at a time that many could be conceived of as the Antichrist. It is only through the belief and practicing of the teachings of Christ that those who profess anti-godlike teachings can be defeated. So yes, at the current time, there are many that could be considered the Antichrist. People teaching atheism and converting others to that belief are teaching, obviously contrary to the teachings of Christ. So we are living in a time, and there have been many, many times in the past, where the perception of multiple antichrists is accurate.
Yeah, well, it seems that way to me. But I'm, Michael, old friend, I'm glad to see that we're going to be around a while. You're going to have to put up with me calling in here.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So been going to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor. The older we get, the worse. So every time I go to the doctor, I got my fingers crossed. But yeah, I got about another 50,000 miles on these tires, so we'll be good.
Yeah, just stay positive in your own mind. And I also I want to extend my thanks to you, heartfelt thanks to your guest. Much appreciated for the work you're doing and for getting on the radio here and just offering your services as you do. God bless you for doing that. And I've heard you many a time, and there are many people, I'm sure, not just myself, that are very appreciative for you donating and working like you do. So thank you.
Well, thank you for the kind comment. Everything we do is free, and sadly there may be a day that all catches up with us, but we're still hanging in there.
Well, you're helping a lot of people, sir, and to me that's what it's all about in this life, in this world,
That is our mission, to help others.
Exactly, and it's not about our bank account. It's about how many people we can say when we do pass on that we've tried to help and that we have helped. That's really the love we share, the love we give. All that stuff is what it's all about. So,
very well spoken.
All right,
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to go. Michael, thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate the call, and stay safe, man.
Okay, man. Bye-bye now.
All right, there he goes. There's Mark. All right, so I've got a question that come in from a listener. In general, excuse me, she says, what does my higher self and personal spirit guides, or our higher self and spirit guides, what do they basically wish of us to be most aware of while we're in this lifetime? How do we find out, I guess? I'll rephrase her question a little. But how do we know what our higher self and spiritual guides, personal spiritual guides, want from us? What we're supposed to do or what have you?
Very few are actually aware of an understanding of the calling of their higher selves.
Yeah.
Many attempt to learn this, but few actually accomplish it. There are certain people that are sent back that are made totally aware of what their path is to entail. Most individuals can try through meditation, lucid dreaming, perhaps hypnosis, or other means of self-perception to try to communicate with their guides. Guides actually communicate with souls on a continuous basis. Most souls are simply not aware of the direction that they're receiving. In some instances, it can be a gut feeling. It can be hearing that so-called voice in your head, or it can just be a very, very strong conviction. Your guides do indeed try to influence those steps towards helping you obtain your life plan. But, as I said, some people are given a deep sense of what their life plan or ultimate calling should be.
How many times I'll say for myself, how many times have someone like myself incarnated as a human on Earth? And including this life. How many times does that usually happen? I mean, how many times is there a way of knowing?
All humans carry their book of life in their minds. We can access that energy and actually tell you of your prior lives. When people inquire of Barry about prior lives, that is what we do. We open that book and determine the information that is often asked for. In your case, you have lived over a dozen human lifetimes. But keep in mind that your soul journeys have numbered into the many thousands. Humans have only been here for a short period of time in relationship to the time of the universe. And your soul energies have all been around since that time. This is a very difficult concept to understand and in many times to accept. You will not totally understand until you return home. It is at that time that you will have a total understanding of what you have done in the past and what still remains for you to be done in the future.
I may have a few complaints too.
Just know that a human lifetime is a blink in the eye of the lifetime of the soul.
Oh yeah, you're just preaching to the choir here. I've learned fast that this life here is just a blink of the eye. I mean, it's just amazing how fast it goes. When you're a kid, you think, there's a song that I play every now and then. It's called Grave Digger, and it's amazing. It basically talks about, when you're a little kid, you see somebody living to 80, 90, 100 years old, you think, wow, that's such a long time. But when you're that person, you look back at 80, 90, or 100 years old and you think, holy cow, where'd the time go?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're talking to the choir here, buddy.
Yeah, I know, just for me alone, it was like I was playing with toys it seems like weeks ago, and here I am, just amazing, You wait for 16 because you want to drive, depending on where you live. You wait for 21 because you're finally old enough to buy beer. Even if you don't drink, you want to go buy one just to say you did it. And then after that, it's really, you're not waiting for too much. And before you know it, bam, 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 the years just flip by. You wake up one day and you're middle-aged, and boy, things just aren't the same as they used to be. So, welcome. So, what about karma? Is that part of it? I mean, is that why some people come back and have such horrible lives? Run over by trucks and, I don't know, die horrible deaths. I can't imagine everybody's been bad, and that's why they're having bad things happen, though.
What you must understand is the difference between karma and what your soul is required to learn in a particular lifetime. Karma is very real. Karma can be carried over from a prior lifetime to your current lifetime, or even from multiple prior lifetimes. But a soul has got to learn multiple lessons. So perhaps the soul has got to learn to live a life of loneliness, for instance.
Yeah.
You may agree to that in your life plan, and that could have nothing to do with karma. Or you could have had a bad lifetime previously, and that will generate a certain suffering that will have to take place in the current life plan. Mm-hmm. You can lead an evil life at the present, and that can that will obviously carry forward into your future life plans. Everything is in turmoil. It is your free will that determines what you must learn and determines what karma you will carry forward. The easiest way to assure positive karma is to follow the teachings of our Lord. If you live a good life of love, yes, you will have lessons to learn in a future lifetime, but there will be rewards for the way you've lived this lifetime. So it is a difficult concept, but it has worked through thousands of lifetimes in the past, and the process will continue into the future.
Okay. Here's a question from Harold Briggs, his name is. He said he gives the whole name. He said, are there any simultaneous lives of mine that knowing details of it may benefit me now? So is there anything about any of his past lives that would benefit him to know today? And that was for Harold.
Okay. Harold, in your immediate past life, you lived the life of a minister, and you carried the words of God to the people as you understood them. In this lifetime, you are on a mission to help others. You will carry forward a certain amount of good karma. But you also have lessons to learn. You have to stay very positive and understand that your prayers are indeed heard, if not always answered. So you are carrying a good karma forward, and if you rely on that karma, all will be well for you in this lifetime.
Okay, there you go, Harold. All right, let's take our last break here, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up. And, if anybody wants to get in on a call or get a question through us to the chat, now's the time to do it, because we're getting down on time. You know how the time flies when you're having fun. And so I've got Barry and Connie Strohm with me, and they are opening the spirit board. And Laura is the spirit guide. You couldn't see her even if she was here, but she's there. And
Late Nighters, make sure you like and follow WCET Radio and all our shows on social media. Just click the channel you want at the top and bottom of our homepage. Then be sure to share with a friend and ask that friend to do the same. And you become the resistance.
You're listening to WCET Talk Radio like no other.
Hey, late nighters, keep up with all things WCET Radio by joining our mailing list. Just go to the bottom of the homepage and fill in the Stay Informed form. Then click the Get Latest News button. You will get everything from guest info and show info and other important station-related information. So sign up now and get a special promo offer just for email subscribers.
Late nighters and WCET radio listeners around the world, listen up. The shop is here, and you can order WCET radio and your favorite shows swag right now and show your friends and your neighbors you're awake by wearing one of our many shirts, including our Stop the Censorship shirt. That one is a hot seller, so get yours while supplies last. We have coffee mugs, clocks so you never miss your favorite shows, books, mouse pads, and more coming soon. Just go to WCETradio.com and click the shop link. That's WCETradio.com and get to shopping.
Carolina Radio, Columbia.
Excellent, excellent. Number one means you're always on top. Your number one radio.
WCET-FM has just released the app. So now you can take WCET Radio everywhere you go. Just go to the Google Play Store and search WCET-FM. That's WCET space FM and install it. Then it's ready to go. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Well, it is. WCET-FM. We got the app.
We welcome you to WCET's 8th annual spook-a-thon. The conversations will be anything but dead. NDE, OBE, death, possession, aliens. It will be 24 hours of live radio with all your favorite hosts contributing to what should be the booiest Halloween night on the dial. So, tune in October 31st, 2020 for the 24-hour spook-a-thon. Brought to you by L&M and WCT Radio.
I most certainly am. This is Late Night in the Midlands, the one, the only. I'm Michael Vera, and, well, it's Wednesday night, and I have Connie and Barry Strohm with me, and, well, again, opening the spirit board. And we've got a little bit of time left, so if any of you want to get in on it, you got a question, you're thinking, hey, you know, I've always wanted to call in and ask the question, but I never have. Do it. 803-317-2521. Again, 803-317-2521. If you want to help us out, folks, and I know you do, I know you're just dying to do it, so let me tell you where to go, and don't stampede everybody, wait in line, right? Big lines to help us out. Go over to WCETradio.com and hit that contribute button. That helps us out. You can also hit the drop-down menu on the show tab. It'll drop down. Oh, believe me, it does. It works. And you'll see Late Night in the Midlands in there. Click on it. Guess what happens? Page opens. And then what? Well, there's a donate button right there. And with your help, we continue to do what we do here. And, you know what we do? I tell you, I probably haven't told you in a couple of days. What we do is we bring you the best host with the best shows, the best guests, the best information right here on WCET Radio. And well, we do our best to bring you the best, and I hope you enjoy. Matter of fact, I know you're enjoying, and we're going to keep doing it with your help. So just go on over here. Listen, there's the shop. So you go into the shop on our website, and there's all kinds of good stuff there. And we're open to suggestions too. You got suggestions? Write us at support@WCETFM.com. And if you've got any suggestions, stuff you might like to see in the shop. And remember, keep it family oriented. All right. So anyhow, no, we're not going to have anybody's parts in there. That's not happening. All right. So let's get back to it. Barry, Connie, we are back. And I've got a few questions that have kind of piled up here as we went into break. Let's see. This is a general question. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Laura's really strong tonight with her answers.
Oh, yeah, the force is strong in this one, huh? So, let's see. Henry, I don't think this is the same Henry that called in. I don't think, anyways. But says, what are the general themes for when folks come here, like choosing their path? He's got it kind of broken up in 3 different questions. So I'm going to try to give it to you in one. And so how do we choose the path that we take in this life? Like, how does that happen? Do we actually, somebody assign that to us? How does it work exactly? Well, to the best of your knowledge.
When the soul of its own free will decides that it is ready to return, its guides will work with him. The guides will look at his book of life and see what lessons need to be learned. It may be that the lesson cannot be learned on your planet. In that case, the soul may reincarnate on another planet, in another civilization, that will give them access to events or circumstances that need to be learned. If the soul enjoyed its last life as a human, it can select to return to the lifetime here on your planet. It may be that the soul has enjoyed the accompaniment of certain other souls in prior lives. Those souls may agree to return together. A perfect example of that is Barry and Connie. They have life together multiple times as humans, and they decided to return in this lifetime and to be married. In prior lifetimes, they had different relationships. So it's really up to the guides to provide guidance into what that soul needs to learn, whether it needs to have a long lifetime, a lonely lifetime, or a lifetime where it serves others. So it is a very involved process, and it does not happen overnight. There will be multiple guides that work with the soul to provide the life plan, and the master guide of that soul must approve the life plan before it is allowed to return. I hope that answers your question.
All right. And, well, here's a decent, I don't know if this was an actual question to ask, but I'm going to ask it because I like it. We had a gentleman by the name of WJP who used to moderate our chat room. He was a good, really good guy, a really decent guy. And well, he passed away. I don't know, it might have been a it's going on a couple of years, if it's not already a couple of years. Time flies. It's hard to keep track of these things. But so I'm wondering, and this question, if this was the question, has he resurrected? Has he come back, reincarnated? Would be the actual word I'm looking for. So has he reincarnated yet? And if so, where is he? Because I'd like to go give him a phone call and tell him, hey, you're supposed to be in our chat room.
Well, actually, he's here for you.
Oh, he is.
Yes. I do want you to know that I thoroughly enjoyed our relationship when I worked with you in the chat room. And actually, I thought we became pretty good friends. I still watch over and listen to the show on occasion. I especially like to be close when Barry and Connie are on, because I know that they can pass on messages from the other side. Just as I prompted you to ask this question tonight so that I could speak to you once more.
So is it anything like he might have thought it would be? Crossing over and all.
It is far better. I had no way of preparing for what it actually was. I always had doubts of what the spirit world would be like. I found out that actually no one can conceive of what the other side is like. I can come and go, and as in tonight, I can come back and speak to you again.
All right. And is he pleased or displeased with where the chat room has gone? He'd probably, I don't know. I don't know how he'd feel about it.
I see that you have changes, but I think that in the long run, they will work out very well for you.
All right.
Just be aware that the people that own Skype have more control over what takes place than one might imagine.
Oh, I know all these technology companies, high tech companies. Yeah, I know. He knew. WJP knew. He knew he'd be posting facts in the chat room all night long. So all right. Well, is he coming back anytime soon? Probably not.
It will be a while. I'm actually enjoying it over here. I'm seeing many of my family members that I missed. And there will be family members joining me in the future. So keep in mind there's no time over here, so I don't feel any real rush to return. I do see that there seems to be a time of great uncertainty for our friends and neighbors in America.
Mm-hmm.
We are anxious to see what happens in the near future. If such turmoil continues, I don't think I'm going to come back quite yet. It seems like maybe the future is brighter than the present. So, no, I really have no immediate plans. I do feel positive about the future. The question is just how long in the future will it take for that positivity to come to fruition.
Well, yeah, it's probably easy for him to have positivity for the future because his future is probably good where he is. I don't know about here though, but damn. So he could choose to come back or not. He doesn't have to come back if he doesn't want to.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I don't know why he would then. I mean,
it's totally up to me when I want to return, or if I want to return, or even if I want to come back as a human.
It's almost, I'm going to tell you, it almost seems like a waste, really, when you think about it. I mean, you come, you spend how many years as a young child, you know, and let's face it, that's time wasted. You're just playing with toys and doing stupid things, right? So then you finally get where you could be productive, and then you get old, and you know how the cycle of life goes. So you really only get that little in between to really live and do what you want, and then boy, things change quick. Life goes by too quick. It's not. It's just, I don't know why. If I'm on the other side, well, I choose to go through this, unless, of course, on the other side, I'm well aware that it's just all a big game or something, I guess. But so let me ask WJP if is who else is over there? Is there, is he see familiar faces? Is he on a different planet? Where did he go? Where is he?
Well, I can go many places over here. I see my family. I see my friends that have passed, and I can return and watch to see what the friends that I left behind are doing. So I have many choices over here. And I would point out something to you. Human lifetimes are very, very short in comparison to lifetimes in other planets, cultures, or civilizations. Humans are very, very young compared to many of the other physical types that exist in other worlds. Keep in mind, there are other worlds that have existed with life for millions and millions of years. These cultures are very advanced. Humans are not very advanced. Humans are given a short lifetime for a specific reason. Because they have to learn, humans need to learn many lessons if they're going to evolve. So all this becomes apparent when you come over to the other side.
Well, and here's what sucks about having to come back now. Say, okay, I pass away. I say, all right, I'm going to come back. Now I've got to spend what? Another 16 years of listening to parents and learning and going to school and all that stuff that I already did. It's like I'd like to come back and do something different. I just feel like if that's the case and we're spirits coming here to learn a lesson, I feel like we're wasting. If we come back time and time again, it just seems like we're wasting, so much of that time, both in the beginning of life and at the end of life. It's I don't know. That's just my thought, but
that is all part of your learning process. As you grow up, you acquire characteristics that may or may not support your life plan. So it's all part of a process. When you get over here, you will understand.
Yeah, when I get over there, I'm going to look them up too. So
you can rest assured when you come over, I will be waiting to help you.
We'll have a cup of spiritual Java. Yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, thanks for coming through for us, WJP. I appreciate that. Oh, I got one more question for. Now I'll leave that one alone. But all right, we're good. So here's a question from another listener. This is from Andy. Did I decide to ascend with the planet, or will we ascend with the planet and move to the fifth dimension in this life? I think that was supposed to be will I decide, not did I decide, but.
You have the opportunity to raise your energies, but dimensional change is probably beyond your reach in this lifetime. And ascension is not a true definition of what will take place with your energy. You can raise your spiritual vibration, but ascending into another dimension will not really take place until you're passing.
Okay. All right. And now he's got a follow-up here. It says, so what can I emphasize in my life in the next year that will facilitate my growth and development? Pretty good question, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Your growth and development will depend on how you manage your relationships with others, your relationship with your personal love of God, and how you fulfill the words and teachings of Christ when he walks the earth.
All right.
If you follow your heart and have love in that heart, both for you and for God, and show that love to others, you will ascend, as you put it, or raise your positive energies. So it's very simple. Follow the commandments of God, love one another, and all will be well.
All right. Okay. And, this is a good one here. This is from a Karen. It says, is there a specific way that is personal between my spirit guides and I that would help me connect with them? Is there some special way to connect with one's spirit guides?
You have been trying through multiple ways to connect with your guides. We would suggest to you that you attempt direct communication, and probably the easiest way for you to do that would be by attempting to use a spirit board such as Barry and Connie learned to communicate with. If you decide to do that, do not do it on your own. You can contact Barry or Connie, and they will give you information on how to proceed safely, opening the channels to our dimension through the use of a spirit board.
Okay. All right. And this one comes from Jessica. And I don't think it's our Jessica, though. What is my soul group of organization, and or how do I find out? Soul group?
All souls have got have a soul family or a group that will follow together through multiple lifetimes. You have a group of souls that have life together, and there are also souls in that group that are choosing not to life again. I'm not sure how I can clarify your group of souls. These souls have been with you through many lifetimes, and it will only be when you return home that you can understand truly who the members are of your soul group.
Okay, because I was going to say maybe the best way to have asked that question would have been, how do I connect with my soul group? And so you just said, when you go to the other side, you'll connect with them, all right?
Yeah, that's what it takes.
All right. And I've got one more question here, and no name with this one. Just says, please ask, which extraterrestrial, physical or non-physical beings or collectives do we here on Earth have the strongest connection with at this time?
Humans probably have the strongest connection with Palladians. There are more Palladians among you than any other alien type. You're strongly guided by Arcturians and by Tulans as well. But if it comes to sheer numbers, it would be the Palladians.
Oh, okay. Palladians it is. There you go. So, well, guys, we've come to that point of the show where I give you the floor. Anything else you want to get out, please go ahead. That includes the new network you'll be doing your show on and all that. Go for it.
Okay. Our new book, Spirits Speak, Channeling Jesus and the Holy Spirits, will be released on November 18th. It'll be available all the usual places, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. If you want a signed copy of it, come to one of my websites, spiritspredict.com or wordsofgodthenandnow.com, and buy off the website, and we'll get you a signed copy. So we are excited about that coming, and this is going to be entirely different in release. It'll be coming out in softcover, so we can keep the price down.
Nice.
But it's also coming out simultaneously in ebook at a very reduced price, because we are attempting to get his words into as many hands as possible.
Oh, good.
And that is our plan on the new book coming out. As we talked earlier, we are attempting to do our own radio show called Channeling History. Our hope is to actually bring you the spirits that lived the events so that you can learn the true aspects of history. We'll be dealing with conspiracies and mysteries and channeling many of the famous holy spirits, as well as famous historical figures, popular figures. Like this week on the show, we're going to do Elvis. We've channeled him here on this show a couple times, and he's a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Our show is very unique, and that all our guests are dead. So it makes it. We don't get into big arguments with our guest list here, so it's a very unique show. Hopefully, it all works out for us. It will be on the ParaX network. It's on Sunday nights at 9:00
East time.
And you can download it on Podmatic or iTunes or all the regular places, and we also put it up on our YouTube channel. YouTube channel is in my name, Barry Strohm. Everything we do except selling books is free. So
okay.
Join in and join us for the ride. It's going to be an interesting experience.
Awesome. So again, you air what night now? It's
Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Sunday 9 p.m. I'm gonna tune in.
Yes, on this show, we encourage our listeners to suggest guests to us, and during the show, we have a chat room where our listeners can put in their own questions for our guest.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Everybody is saying that I got all this made up and I'm reading it and all this. But if people are asking questions off the chat room that I've never seen before, it's really hard to prepare an answer for it.
Well, you know what? Let people say what they will, and the burden of proof is on them. They're the ones making the accusations. So.
No, and I thought tonight was a wonderful show.
It was. Oh yeah.
Laura was incredibly strong. She answered the questions, and there's no way in God's world I could have prepared for this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Questions coming at me.
No.
We had some very good questions tonight.
Yeah, I thought this was an exceptional show tonight. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I. I always do, though. I always do. That's why we continue to do it. It's been, 3 years now? So.
No, we consider it an honor that you keep asking us back, and we enjoy it as well.
Well, hey, I know I enjoy you guys a lot, and usually when I enjoy something, I don't know, I don't want to be all conceited here, but I have pretty good taste, and it seems like people seem to like what I like. So, it works. I mean, people.
Yeah, we're not going to argue with you about that. We like that.
Well, listen, I thank you both for being here tonight. And again, if there's anything else, go ahead. If not, try to stay warm when your 19 degrees gets there. And
yeah. Well, at least we're in our own home. We don't have to go into the cold store anymore.
Well, that's good.
Many guests here, goes here in the house as we had in the store. So it's
maybe one night it wouldn't be a bad idea to have see how the new store owners are liking their guests.
We're afraid to ask.
All right. Well, listen, you guys have a good one. Stay safe and keep it up.
Okay.
Thanks, Michael.
Michael,
same for you.
God bless you, and we love you.
All right, you too, my friend. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, there they go. Barry and Connie Strohm. Again, you could check them out Sunday night, 9 p.m. If you go over to their website, I'm sure they've got it all right there for you. And you go check it out. I mean, what else you doing on a Sunday? You check it out.
Ending of the call.